tell you what, for a very small, lightweight aluminum alloy frame, yes, I'm gonna pick them rounds up off the ground, but this would have to be probably the most controllable pocket-sized revolver I've probably ever shot, and I've shot quite a few of them. I really like this thing. I've never been a fan of Kimber, but of their semi-autos, but I've never owned one of their revolvers either. And I'm leaving the range all smiles today.
The Kimber K6XS Carry. The shooting you just saw was about 2 weeks ago. I have been carrying this around a decent amount since then. Just now getting around to getting it on the table and doing a comprehensive dive into some of the features and things of that nature. So let's get it unloaded and get right to it. So as you can see, this firearm has been unloaded, so let's close the cylinder and talk about it a little bit here. Again, as mentioned already, this is the Kimber K6XS Carry, and I kind of have a little bit of a rocky past with Kimber. I've had two of their 1911s after about 100 rounds. My KHX actually ended up being a pretty decent firearm, but you put yourself in a situation where within that first 100 rounds, having so many issues, knowing that you need to put another 1,000 rounds maybe just to trust it, that you just like whatever and get rid of it. That's kind of where I was at with it. And then I had another 1911 that just even after 800 rounds still would pretty frequently have issues with failures to feed, magazine problems, stove piping, things of that nature. And then a Kimber Micro that was just an absolute piece of junk. I ended up getting into it with the customer service at Kimber as they started saying you can't just put 500 rounds through it. It's got to be a specific type of premium ammunition, 500 rounds. It's got to be lubed in specific places and all of this other stuff, and just really pissed me off. And although I did not vow I would never buy another Kimber, I just kind of said that I wouldn't, you know what I mean? But Kimber has always made some of the most beautiful firearms in the world, like just beautiful edges, beautiful craftsmanship, just fantastic fit and finish, very tight. And I just never have understood why it is that they have so many people that complain. If they could fix that one issue of just having to be broke in so much, and even then will occasionally still have a problem, if they could just fix that one thing, I think that they would be a lot more popular than they are. And so that, I mean, because they do, again, make beautiful, well-built firearms. There's no question about that. It just becomes a reliability thing for me. Sometime back, I had a Taurus 605. It did have the exposed hammer, and it had a very similar grip profile, just a little thicker from front to back. But I carried it in my pocket a ton, actually several summers. And I didn't have a problem with the hammer being there because I could put my thumb over it in my pocket and pull it out so that it would not have a snag point there. And I carried it around a ton. I ended up selling it just because someone said they liked it and everything's for sale. You know how that is. Also had a Bodyguard from Smith & Wesson, very similar, lightweight, horrible trigger, horrible accuracy, so I sold it. And again, I know it's a revolver, but you know, you want the trigger to be decent anyway. So the trigger on this was about 10 to 12 pounds, and it is very smooth, very predictable, breaks when you would expect that it would, and the trigger is phenomenal on this particular revolver. With these Hogue extended grips, I'm able, even with my fat sausage fingers, able to get a 3-finger grip on there. Very sure purchase, and this gun handles the recoil of even the Plus P very well, very surprisingly with the lightweight of this. And so when I picked it up and just seen how lightweight this gun was, once again I was intrigued with the Kimber, and I've been intrigued since their line of revolvers were released, because again, they're just beautiful guns. So the MSRP on Kimber's website is $679. I picked this up with tax out the door just shy of 600 bucks. So they have come down in price a little bit. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give them a chance. It's a revolver. How can you mess that up? So before we talk a little bit about the shooting, just the overall height on this is just, even with the extended grip here, is just 5.5. The weight, as mentioned already, super light, comes in just shy of 16 ounces. The length on this is 6.8. The width is a mere 1.4 even with the cylinder, so it's very slim, very lightweight, very easy to put in your pocket, and just super comfortable to carry around. Of course, double action only with the enclosed hammer, and it is a 6-round capacity. The frame material is aluminum, what they call a Kim Pro finish on that. They don't necessarily call it a two-tone, but I believe because the barrel is a stainless steel material versus an aluminum, and also the cylinder as well, they do look as though they're a little bit darker. I'm sure that that's just the silver Kim Pro finish that, you know, is on both, likely just is a different color on different metal materials. I noticed that also on the trigger, so it does look two-tone, which is fine. That, I mean, in my opinion, that looks a whole lot better. It does have this channel or gutter sight system that is raised a little bit in the rear. Very nice sight picture, very easy to pick up. A lot of attention to detail on that. A lot of times the sight picture is very difficult to pick up on revolvers. It does have this very bright orange front bead sight, or well, it's not a bead sight. It can't be adjusted, it can't be removed. It looks as though it's made into the frame. I could be wrong about that, but if it's not, man, they sure put it on there awful well. But it's not a bead sight, that was my oversight. It's just a simple orange dot on the front. And the trigger, as I said, 10-12 pounds, great trigger, non-stacking, and I actually enjoyed this firearm a lot out at the range. The cylinder release is a little bit tight, can be a little bit difficult sometimes to get out, but again, you see that a lot with Kimber. But most revolvers that I shoot, even some of the Colts that I recently shot, whenever I would go to eject the spent casings, sometimes I would have to physically pull the casings out, even on premium ammunition, where it had swole up inside of the cylinder. Literally, when I would open this up and just drop it like that, they would all just fall right out. So I would think that that's probably got something to do with the great quality of the metal and build on the cylinder here. I don't know that to be a fact. I just know that every revolver I shoot, a lot of times when even using the ejector, I still have to pull some of the casings out where it seemingly has swelled up in the cylinder. That didn't happen here. And again, I do carry this in a DeSantis pocket holster, and it prints very, very little, or it prints, but you can't really tell that it's a gun. And it carries very comfortably and very well, and surprisingly, for a very 2-inch snub nose revolver, it really is pretty dang accurate for a small revolver, even at 12-15 yards where we were shooting at. My wife shot it, she really liked it. She actually has carried it in her purse a little bit. And so for me, I hope that and again, zero issues at the range whatsoever. Timing was perfect, everything was great. Lockup of the cylinder is great, very little to no movement in there. And so they did build a quality firearm that did not malfunction at the range, and there needed to be no break-in period. In the box, you did get a Kimber sticker, a lock, and a very nice soft carrying case here, and a tool also to I think reinstall your grip should you have to take it off. But nice little Kimber carrying case here that the gun come with, your lock of course, and your owner's manual and all that other good stuff. But either way, ton of fun out at the range with this gun. I can 100% recommend this to you. In fact, out of all of the snubby revolvers that I have owned, several Tauruses, the 605, the Poly, the 605, I believe they make it in a metal as well, or aluminum. The Smith & Wessons, let's see, I'm trying to think of other ones that are not coming to me right now, but I have probably owned 10 or 12 pocket-sized revolvers, And out of all of them, believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this, the Kimber K6XS Carry has been my favorite, and I do intend to carry this quite often in my pocket. But regardless, it will be seeing some pocket time with me, and I am very, very happy with this purchase. Go over, check out our website at gsquaredtactical.com. It encourages us more than it helps me in doing these videos. It just encourages us that someone would take the time to go over there like they do when they comment and purchase something from us. It really encourages us and helps us out a little bit monetarily as well. Go over, check out the website. Also, anything that you know about it, any experience that you have with it, anything that may have been left out. I'm sure I didn't get down deep into the internals. We try to make these videos as short as possible, but any questions you have, any comments you make, we respond to everyone. No one goes unresponded to. Just try to keep them polite, and we will do the same. Let everyone know where you can find the best blue-collar gun reviews on YouTube. And again, check out our website, hit that thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe, and God bless.